if you are iron deficient, this was my high school coach, and she was a professional runner.
Different than molasses. It's backstrap molasses, which is completely different tasting than molasses.
Rich and I know backstrap molasses is just
if you're anemic, take it.
Molasses is different than backstrap molasses.
Okay, well,
molasses I think has a little sweet. I think it's like syrup.
I think so.
What is backstrap molasses? Like right out of a tree or something?
I
have no earthly idea.
After one of our inside trackers, I think it was like me, Rich, Chris, and we all had like some iron.
I think it was Haley too, right?
And Haley. And so we're like, bought this blackstrap molasses because it's supposed to help with iron. And you just take like a tablespoon. And it's one of those things like you can only do it so many times. And then I would look at it in the morning and be like,
I'm good.
It's so gross.
It's such an aversion to it. Oh, jeez.
Man, it's been a while since we podcasted. You guys did one without me.
Yeah.
How'd it go? I didn't listen. I'm not going to listen. Sorry.
It's fair.
Oh, we sat around and chatted it up.
Yeah.
Fine.
I think we talked mostly about cereal the whole time.
Yeah, and about Haley and like the games, just because it's pre-games.
Yeah.
What cereal? Talk about your diet.
What cereal did you guys decide on? Did you have a cereal? You threw out in the group text the other day. The peanut butter Chex. You like that, huh? It just didn't have much peanut butter taste to it. I like Chex. I like Life cereal actually. Cinnamon Life.
Ooh, that's
Cinnamon Life is
when
a good
Rory
cereal.
dropped the O's, I was like, I always forget about O's. Those are good.
O's are delicious.
They cut up my mouth.
Cut your mouth so bad, almost like Captain
let them
Crunch.
soak. Yeah.
Well, for some reason the Chex make me feel like I'm not doing something wrong.
Yeah.
They seem like they're.
That's the way life is too. I'm like, I can pour another 2 bowls because this is healthy.
Yeah, for sure. This is like granola.
Yeah.
One serving per bowl.
Yeah.
What is your favorite cereal?
I go in phases. Like if we're talking like completely off, not worried cereal's not healthy, let's be honest. But if we're talking like Jim's saying, healthy versus, just plain old good cereal. Plain old good cereal, s'mores for sure. That honey made s'mores or like whatever the bag cereal, you can get the same thing. But it's just Golden Grahams and Cocoa Puffs and some marshmallows.
Yeah,
and it's amazing.
Good.
Not the like s'mores in one thing. Like there's that cereal, that's not it. And then if we're talking healthy cereal, I love apple cinnamon Cheerios. They're really good. Or honey nut Cheerios.
Those are really good.
Any Cheerios.
I actually,
love
and
Cheerios.
as lame as this sound, Raisin Bran.
I
like
love Raisin
Bran.
What do you mean?
I love Raisin Bran. It's so good. Not even like I really like the crunchy one, but regular Raisin Bran, I'm like, I could eat that.
Yeah.
In that text message, Brian called me poor, a cereal whore.
Because you like all of them.
I said yes to everything.
Yep.
And I have a hard time saying no. I mean, it's good. That's good. I'll eat that.
I'll take 3.
Yeah. I'll never forget that Captain Crunch almost gave you a heart attack and sent you to the hospital. But that's just, disclaimer. Don't eat a whole box at once.
Captain didn't mean it. He didn't mean it.
You have to eat more than a whole box of Captain Crunch in 24 hours. You gotta do something.
Do you still
Challenge
eat it?
accepted.
I feel like I could easily
Normal
do that.
size or family size? I think I could do it.
But I was in the ER.
Why? What happened?
You didn't
I missed this story.
I scored a couple times.
I worked one time for 24 hours straight. So I was up all day, all night. Remember, I'm old, more back then. And all I had that day was some cereal. I ate a whole box of Captain Crunch cereal. And so at one point, that sugar level spiked. And
Insulin spiked.
You had like heart palpitations and...
I was in a theater with my daughter, and there was a snowstorm. And she drove me to the ER because I thought, I couldn't see.
Gosh.
Oh, your vision went black?
Yeah, I started going black, getting narrow. My heart was racing out of my chest.
Was your pee like kind of syrupy? I've heard that when you eat too much sugar, like your pee becomes like syrup. I don't know. I could be totally wrong on that, but that's what my grandma told me.
Interesting.
We'll test it out.
I'll volunteer. I volunteer as tribute.
What kind of milk did you eat with your cereal?
I like whole milk, man.
About that day too? Whole milk with the
I
cereal?
don't even remember whatever was in the house. I mean, I just remember having
was
one.
going dry.
Probably back then it was 2%. That was all the rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back then.
Should've went skim. You survived.
You would have survived.
You wouldn't have blacked out.
I tried some cereal with almond milk the other day. I'm not even doing that again.
Nice.
Which almond milk did you get?
Silk.
No, silk is the worst.
Vanilla or plain?
Yeah, just a,
Almond breeze.
Almond breeze is the only almond milk there is.
it ruined the cereal.
No. Silk is like got this weird.
I've never
sweet,
actually tried silk.
It's disgusting.
Because isn't it more expensive than almond breeze?
I don't know. Almond breeze is amazing. If you go the unsweetened vanilla or just even unsweetened is delicious. But
you know what you guys should get in the coffee shop?
what?
So I actually heard this from my family this past weekend. My cousins invested in a company that got picked up by Shark Tank. That this is what the company is, an almond milk company. But you know how you can go to Whole Foods and you can make your own peanut butter? Like they have like the nuts there and you grind them in a little jar. Well, now with almond milk, they have almonds and you can like, there's a machine or something and you can like make your own. So then the lady on Shark Tank, after they were saying, hey, okay, this company's cool. We want people to make their own almond milk and you can add whatever to it. We should sell the machines. So I think that'll be a thing eventually that you can use your own, whether it be like organic or regular or whatever, and make your own almond milk, which is really sweet. So you guys should.
I want the most GMO'd almond that's like this big.
Get the
that
bulk
takes
almond.
one almond.
Come here.
Come to me.
No.
Because there's no such thing as milk in an almond. That whole thing is so weird.
Yeah, it shouldn't be milk. Have you watched the video?
Almond juice.
Yeah. There is like dairy farmers are very like. There's some legislation they're trying to pass.
upset.
It shouldn't be, honestly. It shouldn't be called a milk.
So you want your cereal with some almond?
I don't care.
Almond fluid.
Whatever.
Almond fluid?
Almond juice.
Your almond juice?
Almond juice.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's like,
got
have you seen this guy that
Yeah,
got in
it's
front of
true.
like a city council and was talking about how they should change the name of boneless wings?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Did
He's
his daughter send
dead.
that?
He's dead serious. And I've been saying it for years, honestly, so I 100% back it. You can't call it a wing because it's not even wing meat. It's
never
breast
even
meat.
understood that.
And so he goes in, he's like, we wouldn't let a butcher
Yeah.
call it, whatever. And so it's a valid point. He's like, call them spicy nugs
Yeah.
or saucy nugs
Yeah.
or trash. Like it's so good.
It was good.
So if you get a chance on YouTube, it's
So
it's
are
great.
boneless wings? They're just like chicken.
They're just nuggets.
Well, yeah,
with sauce.
You know that, though.
I know.
It's just breaded chicken.
It's just breaded chicken.
They just bread it like a
and
tender,
their
like
breast,
a chicken tender or whatever.
usually
Oh.
breasts.
I don't know what I ever thought it was because that doesn't make sense because the chicken. Wow.
Well, because when you think you eat a chicken wing, there's like a bunch of bones you got to eat around.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like our kids should not be afraid of eating meat off of a bone. That's where meat grows, on a bone. It's good. And somebody, so he starts talking. He has this whole speech planned out, and somebody starts chuckling in the
he
crowd,
gets
and
mad.
he's like, "Can I finish?" Serious. It's good. It's good.
Can I
And there's
finish?
actually a what's the website where you can
Like petition or
petition?
whatever.
He's on there. Like there's a
Wow.
petition to get it. I'm
I mean,
in.
it is a valid point.
I'm in.
Almond milk,
I think it's false
boneless
advertisement.
wings.
And I like almond milk now, but I agree with farmers. Like it should be called milk. Sorry.
Almond juice.
And they make milks out of like every nut now.
Yeah. And oats.
Yeah, and
Oat
oats
juice.
even. Oat juice, cashew juice.
Oat juice.
Hey,
Hey, what if a movement just started here?
when Ben gets back in here, we have to like play up this elk hunt. Honestly, it was one of the hardest things I've done mentally.
You can't wait to hear about
But I
this.
keep
yeah.
telling him
Get a little-
that he wouldn't have survived, which he might not have actually. But everybody we'll get him fired up.
I mean, it
We're not
sounds
saying
pretty-
whether we harvested something or not, because there's going to be some videos come out of it, and we don't want to ruin it because there will be a little bit of suspense. But it was literally one of the most difficult things I've done mentally. So, but when we switch to that, we'll save that whole discussion for when Ben comes in.
Perfect.
Yep.
Get him fired up.
Yeah. You know what I heard on a podcast the other day? And you guys, I don't see how this can make sense. And this was some like person who knows about nutrition and all this stuff talking about it, that they had heard or read somewhere that, so like, chess players have like their giant competitions or whatever, like huge minds. Obviously, if you win the chess competition of the world, they were saying that they burned 6,500 calories in a day during an intense chess competition. Do you think there's any validity to that whatsoever? Because you're not like.
Is it a study? Is it
I
what is
don't
it?
know if it
mean,
was like someone well known.
They couldn't
said
just
this.
make that
don't-
claim unless they have something to go
Well,
with it.
they read it
so.
somewhere, and they wouldn't have said it if it wasn't like to them.
Did you Google it?
No,
Maybe it's stress induced.
but that's what I mean. Like, can you burn calories from?
I've never played chess, so I don't know if it's a difficult game.
I've never really.
I play checkers. Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you guys know how to play chess?
No, I don't know.
Checkers.
I played
It's not too hard. It's
a
not.
little bit when I was like in junior high, but it was too much.
We weren't that cultured at the Froning house.
All the
You
time.
weren't moving. You weren't running. You
No,
weren't
I'm
hiking,
not
you do all
playing.
that.
I still can't. I have trouble unless it's physical activity. That's one of the days when we went elk hunting. The second day, we sat for 9 hours. It was probably the best chance we had because we were just set up by water. It was like 80 degrees. But we sat for 9 hours, and I, in the middle of it, was thinking, if this is elk hunting, I don't ever want to do this again.
Speaking of that.
Speaking of the devil.
Speaking of elk hunting.
Speaking of elk hunting, and who would have not made
It
it?
was so much fun.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have made it.
You didn't even go.
Oh, new patches? Oh, wow.
Ooh, Tasia patch.
Why the hell does Tasia have a shirt, a patch, a sticker? I don't have anything.
Just
I
nothing.
have nothing.
I don't know. I'm really grateful though. Thank you.
Oh, coming soon.
Rest up, you gotta show and tell. Okay.
Okay, show and tell.
Right.
Just so you guys know,
Oh, yeah,
it is
talking
true. It
about
was a Stanford University study.
Close.
Chess player can burn up to 6,000 calories a day while playing in a tournament.
Nice.
Yeah. Did you know that, Ben?
What's that?
A chess player can burn up to 6,000 calories a day while playing in a tournament because of the.
24 hours?
No, like the 8-hour period because the cognitive load of
They
the
play
event.
for 8 hours.
I honestly don't know if I believe that.
Doesn't
Ask
make
the
sense to me.
Stanford University Robert Sapolsky, who studies stress in primates at Stanford University.
Yeah.
If peeing your pants is cool, then consider me Miles Davis. You know what else is cool? Our new apparel. And wow, look at all this other gear we're going to release this month. Bunches and bunches of shirts. Hold up kids shirts. These are now released. Socks. Hold up socks.
Ooh.
2 new colorways coming soon.
He said the apparel is not updated.
Apparel. Stickers. Hold up stickers. Holographic ones coming soon. Just wow.
Hold up stickers.
Nice.
Shirt. The
Oh, that's
original
right.
Froning shirt.
Shirt.
Yep.
That's
That's cool.
His
That is so
forearm
cool.
tattoo.
Yeah, that's pretty. That is really.
I love it.
Sweatshirts are back.
It's time. It's the time for the fall.
Yeah.
Fall. It's getting cold. Get yourself a sweatshirt.
Just
Your
released
sweatshirt.
tomorrow.
Ooh, cool.
Hunting season. Need the orange. Ooh, thermals are back. In
Yeah,
OD
that's
green.
Cute.
I wore that when we were out hunting
Oh,
actually.
this is so good.
That's sharp.
What performance.
Ooh, I like that.
Nice.
Sinner.
That's so good.
Very cool.
Off my shoulder.
Yeah.
Nice.
That shoulder.
Baseball tee with camo sleeves.
Like
Can't
it.
go wrong.
Another
Oh, I
different
love the
camo.
raglands. Yeah.
That's sharp. I like that too.
Ooh, sweatpants, camo.
Yes.
We're getting men's in next week.
Men's
gonna wear all
men's
camo
in next
everything.
week.
I know. We're gonna like be just camo.
Crop top,
No.
camo.
Is that what it's called?
That one's not cropped.
Oh,
Looks crop.
The next one's cropped.
What's the point of the crop top?
Because it's
Wouldn't
cute.
make-
Oh,
Super
I
cute.
love it.
That's so cute.
I love it.
this is like it's like rain gear protected. There's only half of it. What is the deal?
No, no, no.
It's called
it is.
style, Silver.
it
You
is
got a zipper for
style.
your things too.
It is in
Wow.
That
style.
makes no sense.
I wear crop.
This one's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
That is.
That was really nice, though.
Yes.
Here's some hats.
Great
Hats,
job.
new hats are back. I think we got some new hats, but they're not in yet.
Sharp. Super sharp. I like that black.
I'm the smartest man alive. Nobody writes workouts like me.
That's
How can
funny.
I prove that? I'm not reading the next part. We've got 2 individual programs on Mayhem Athlete, actually packages going on Mayhem Athlete that are simple and now give you way more value. Our competitor package grants you immediate access to all of our individual programs and content we put out on a daily basis in the SugarWatt app, live classes, workout prep notes, and more.
It's real.
Or if you just want to get a good workout in 30 minutes to an hour, we have the Everyday Athlete package ready for you. Sign up and join me and the crew to do the workouts with you at 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, Monday through Thursday. And Elly does the live classes for M30 daily at 7:30 Central Standard Time, Monday through Friday. We've got the Mayhem affiliate programming moving along. We provide daily coaching videos, programming notes, warm-ups, cool-downs, and more exclusive content and offers. Lastly, we have added every single one of the classes we offer here at CrossFit Mayhem so you can have your gym running just like ours. Go to CrossFitMayhem.com/programming to get your gym or yourself on our programming and join the Mayhem Athlete family.
All those things look really, really good, by the way.
All right, so elk hunting.
Why? I don't know. Why do you? Why can't Ben survive it? Why wouldn't he have survived it?
He would have died.
Out of all the people in this room, he's the only one who could not.
I probably have a better chance to survive.
I don't know about that. But Ben, yeah,
this is very insulting to me, by the way.
So the first 3 days, let's back up. Ben was like, we had to hire a whole nother camera guy.
Okay, this doesn't matter.
Yeah, and
with
so
the
the filming,
toughness.
luckily, Bryant was a good dude. Good guy, but at first you're like, man, I don't know this guy. We can't be real. We can't. So the first couple maybe day or so,
sleeping in a trailer together, right? Like a trunk.
Yeah. He got a tent, but you're worried. You're like, I don't know how this guy, like, how do we interact with him?
Yeah.
How do we whatever? And so Ben kind of ruined the whole trip from the start.
Oh my god!
Wouldn't do it.
Don't
we
put that on me.
We had like 3 different offers to try to get Ben to go. And we just realized Ben's not a company man. Like he's not, he doesn't bleed mayhem. So, as soon as
I bleed mayhem.
As soon as we can find somebody to replace him.
Okay, well, to help with his replacement, the picture I took of Haley kind of made it big. So he can be replaced.
Did you take that picture for over squatting?
Yeah, I
have seen that everywhere, actually.
Thank you.
What you're saying is the value of family just means something different to him.
Yeah. Loyalty is not a thing for Ben. But anyway,
it's not true. There's a lot of underlying things that had to take care of.
Hire somebody to come in, and like I said, luckily Bryant was great.
Shot in the dark, but it was fine.
So we take this. I think it's 20 foot by 10 foot, 12 foot wide trailer, whatever it is. We packed up a bunch of stuff. Marlon and Brian drove it out there. Luckily, then me and Matt flew in and met them. And so we get there, and Father Stephen, who's a good friend of ours, he kind of set it up. This is his area or whatever. So it's in Gunnison National Forest. So we drive to Gunnison, have to get our tags and all that stuff. Earlier on, Father Stephen's like, all right, it's, if you want to camp, you get about 30 minutes more sleep than if you stay in Gunnison. No, it's 2 hours from Gunnison. You have to drive to the trailhead, which is an hour, and trailhead up is an hour. So Marlon and Brian get there about an hour before me and Matt and Bryant. Bryant picked us up at the airport, and we rode down. Marlon and Brian, instead of getting water and fuel and stuff that we needed, decided to have a beer for like an hour and a half.
Good start.
It's getting like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
So Ben's not there.
Ben's not there
already.
Yep. And so we're like, I'm trying to rush everybody because we still have to set up camp, and we're now Googling and seeing that it's going to be 2 hours till we get to camp. Starting to get a little like early afternoon. They're like, why are we hurrying? I'm like, we got to get up there if we want to hunt tomorrow. So we end up getting up there. This trailer, it got sketchy at some points because it's off-road. Like it's dirt road. Right. We get up to the top, 10,500 feet, set up camp. We thought it was overkill, so we had this trailer. Me, Matt, and Brian slept in that. Marlon had a tent, and then Bryant with a T, the camera guy, he slept in a tent. Then the 2 other guys, Steven and Jeff, they stayed in their trucks. Whatever. The first 3 nights, it was get down to maybe 50 degrees, so it feels great. So it's 80 degrees, middle of the day, super warm, not humid, dry. But you're at 10,000 feet, it's base camp. Every day you'd hike around 9,200 feet and then have to walk back out of there. It was awful, the walk out every day. Usually I'd make a peanut butter and jelly in the morning or at the night before, one for lunch and then one for the afternoon because I was like, that was the only thing.
Weight?
Yeah, I lost 8 pounds.
8?
8 pounds.
Oh
and so
my gosh.
The only thing that would get me up that hill at the end of the day, because a lot of the times we would just walk, and then you'd hit this wall that you had to hit. I'd burn 500 calories just walking up the last climb. Wow. And so the only thing that would get me through is that peanut butter and jelly. And so we'd start, like I said, walk around. It was 80 degrees in the day, 50 at night. So first day we hiked our butts off. Second day, we decided Stephen had a good idea to sit by a watering hole. It was so hot. There's really if you're walking around and trying to find these things bedded up, it was full moon at night, so they're going nocturnal. And then during the day, it's so hot, they're just sitting around, or they might hop up and get a drink, whatever it is. And so it's like 1 in a billion chance walking up on a bedded bull. And so we set up by this watering hole 9 hours.
Oh my gosh.
In the middle of it, I was like, if this is elk hunting, I don't ever want to do this again.
It was 9 hours?
Not still. It was the most miserable thing I've ever done in my life. So luckily Steven had, no, you couldn't even glass. We're in the woods.
So you can't see anything.
You can't see anything.
You're just hoping it walks up on you.
Exactly. And so Steven had this Louis Lamar book. So it's his cowboy Western stories, all these short stories. So me and the camera guy would read a story. Louis Lamar, okay. And we'd pass it back and forth. So it's like 45 minutes you'd read, 45 minutes you'd sit there. 45 minutes, we ended up reading 4 or 5 short stories. And they're terrible. They're not good.
Did you read them aloud?
No. Oh, no. Like I would read story 1. I'd pass it to Bryant. He would read, because at first I had the book and I read the first one. I felt bad. I was like, here you go. And he's like, thanks. And so he read it. And then we wrote and read like 4 or 5.
Aloud?
No, like
Reading back and forth.
Yeah, like, oh, they're reading stories to each other.
No. You gotta be relatively quiet. I'm not super quiet, but quiet.
Yeah.
And that day was miserable. That was the only day I worked out. When we got back to the top, I was like, I have to do something because I'm losing my mind.
Oh my gosh.
So the next couple days, we hiked our butts off. But day 3, it's 80 degrees. Day 4, we wake up at 60 degrees. We knew there might be like a chance of snow/rain. At noon, it starts snowing. By the time we got back to camp at 4 or 5 o'clock, 6 inches of snow.
Wow. You were walking through that?
Walking through that.
The pictures are crazy.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You couldn't see the one picture I think we posted of all of us in the snow. That was not how hard it was snowing. It was snowing harder than that day.
How did you not? How do you have clothes?
Honestly,
what did you pack?
So for my probably first 2 base layers, I guess, I had Kuiu stuff, and then for my rain gear is what I put on top for that day. It was snowing so hard. I had some King's camo, just rain gear, but it was over 2 or 3 layers. Honestly, I never got cold. I felt great.
Yeah, while you're moving.
You're moving, you're fine. I had just a pair of Merrell boots that were like hiking boots versus hunting boots. That never got cold. We didn't really sit a ton on those days anyway. But Kuiu stuff was incredible. It was like performance-wise, you don't up and over things, and it was great. But that day was mentally probably one of the more tough things. There was a couple days that just like stick out in my brain. I'm like, that was really hard.
Wow. It's a lot coming from you.
Yeah. And then one day, so we get back up to the trailer and everything's covered in snow. Our whole camp's covered in snow. So everybody's in our trailer. The beds are pushed up. They've got like 3 or 4 propane heaters, and we're keeping the doors cracked so nobody,
oh my goodness.
dies.
Yeah.
And then we have we have generators and stuff, and so there's these infrared heaters that we had, and so we're like, all right, it's you get up there and it's maybe a high of 50 in that in this ice box of a metal shipping container.
Meat locker.
Yeah. And with everybody in there, you're like, okay, it's not that bad. It's probably 50 degrees. You're still kind of wet. But then that night, we had these heaters that the generator couldn't keep up with them. And so either the generator would pop or the breaker would pop. And so that morning, the next 2 mornings, we woke up and it was like probably 20 to 30 degrees in the camper or in the trailer. It was cold.
Yeah. Do you have those legit sleeping bags that like keep you warm?
I had a decent sleeping bag. I never really zipped my sleeping bag. As long as I had my head over the, that little flap over my head, I was all right. Like I just have my mouth out.
Yeah, that's the worst because you want to cover, but you can't breathe.
I know. Yeah. The hard part was just getting ready in the mornings. And then every morning, me and Steven would leave before sunup, and Matt and Brian would usually make their way out about sunup. It's like... It was.
Brian said you would hear teeth chattering all night. He's like, I'd wake
hear
up in
Brian
the middle of the night and I'd just hear
like multiple times in the night. And then at one point, I think I heard him doing jumping jacks in his sleeping bag. Brian's the biggest baby I've ever met. He's here, so he'll listen to this and then he'll be mad at me again. But
I talked to Marlon.
Yeah.
And he was like, he's had a really good sleeping bag and a little heater.
Yeah.
And his own generator, so his heater worked the whole time. So he said he was just like kind of...
He would lift it up
and then fill it out.
Yeah.
Put it out.
oh gosh, smart.
it was, honestly, I think we would have been better in tents because the body heat would have stayed in a little bit more. We were in this big metal container that was...
Yeah, there's no insulation on it, so it's just like...
So if anybody wants to donate a covered trailer, we talked about tricking one out, like insulating it and putting some bunk beds and stuff in there. Foldable, collapsible bunk beds.
So Ben wouldn't have made it.
Ben would have died. One of the last days, it was there was 6 inches of snow on the ground. We start walking, and we're like kind of up against the clock because Brian and them wanted to leave by like noon, 1 o'clock. And so me and Steven are hunting together. And we tracked this bull. Like as soon as sun comes up, you could start seeing some tracks. It was fresh snow. And it's snowing. And there's maybe a couple flakes. Like there's like that Dippin' Dot ice cream snow. And you're like, oh, like there's only a couple little Dippin' Dots in the tracks. We followed this thing for 8.5 hours.
8.5
hours. Fresh tracks. This thing circled around, up, down, around, back in our tracks as we came through. Like you could see where it had stepped in our fresh track. It was one of the mentally most defeating things. You can't work harder. That's what's so hard about elk hunting is you can't work. Like you can't just outwork. Like you have to be smart. You have to have luck. It's just so many different things. Like I said, I really, no joke. All jokes aside, you would have flown home after day 3.
But what are you going off of though? Like
how weak you are mentally. One, you wouldn't even show up.
What I've ever done is mentally
you wouldn't even show up. You're not reliable.
Oh my gosh. I would have.
There's no money involved. There's no money involved, so you're.
That's not true. I would have thrived. Actually.
No. Everything is how much am I going to get paid for this?
Granted. So my side of the story. Can I tell it or
I don't care.
Okay. So my house that I'm living in, legally I'm not supposed to be in.
Okay, well,
okay.
Now you're going to jail.
All right, well, so American Bank and Trust, don't listen right now. Because it's still on construction loan, right?
You don't have the permits for it yet.
Yeah, so, I wanted to get it done so we could schedule the appraisal, which I could have went because the appraisal still hasn't happened. So, but, I mean, I had to be safe. Better safe than sorry.
Okay, so here's his deal, too. I told him, you buy the supplies and Mayhem will pay for Neely to do everything that he needed to do. He was going to get paid.
I mean, that was great. Okay, but
because I was testing to see if, all right.
I knew I could get it done faster.
Than Neely? He's legit.
I mean, and get it scheduled because I need to be there for the appraisal, matter. So I wanted to be.
It's over now.
It is over now.
I guarantee you're not invited next year.
Oh, come on.
You're not invited.
All right, well, I'm going to show up.
I was going to say, didn't he say you're just going to show up at the woods in the same time?
You're going to be walking through the woods, and you're going to be like, is that Ben? And I'm going to be out there like,
and I'll shoot you.
I'm getting a different angle.
Guys, I'm over here.
You definitely, there's no way, though, you would have made it.
I don't see what you're going off of.
I 100% just know you wouldn't have made it.
I think I would have thrived actually better than you. With us,
you might have been able to hang out with Brian.
No.
And film Brian.
I would have been much better, I think, even than you.
No. I know you might, like I said, you might have been able to hang with Brian because he didn't hunt that much.
All right, next time it snows here, I'll go sleep in the woods with nothing.
Okay.
Just to close my back.
Okay.
All right.
But when will that be?
Never.
Yeah. Whenever it snows.
All right. That's like probably the next 5 years.
Yeah, right. That much snow? No way.
I'm gonna take
at altitude, the hard part is like
2 pencils.
The first couple nights, you'd be laying in bed and you'd just lose your breath somehow breathing.
And it was so out of shape, I can't even sleep.
Like it was that bad.
How did you do? How did everybody do?
I think fine. Billings got a little head cold, but he was all right after a couple days. The hard part too was having a Camelback and drinking because you're having to breathe while you're kind of walking and drinking water. You after drinking a couple of sips, you're like, okay, I need to take a breath. It was after probably 3 days. Altitude wasn't that bad. Like I said, it's up and down and around. Like I'd lay down at night and your legs are just aching, not really hurting or sore, just throbbing almost because you've been on your feet. We averaged probably 8 miles a day or more. Wow. But you're just on and it was rough terrain. Montana was tough. It was relatively steep, but this was a little bit more straight up and down, way more rocks and stuff. Montana had a little bit more blowdown, I guess is what they call it. It's where trees get blown down, and there was some blowdown fields that you just up and over and around and up and over and around.
Was it what you expected? Is that going into this? Is that how you were envisioning it, or not really?
I think physically was completely prepared, and mentally I forgot. I guess after that 2 years, just what a mental grind it is. You start what am I doing? Why am I doing this? And mentally, you just go to some places that, like I said, was so hard. It's just, it doesn't matter how hard you work. You can't just be all right, I'm going to walk more. I'm going to do this more. I'm going to do that. It's just, there's so many things outside your control. that's good. But I felt like, we got beat. And so you're just, every day you're like, man, all right, today. And then you're like, get over at a certain point and you're like, like.
But is it like fishing where like, like very experienced fishermen, they know certain spots where like are more well-traveled or have more prevalence of fish.
Yeah. Well,
so like,
you learn. I've read a ton and watched a ton. Like middle of the day, they're usually bedded down on northern slopes and northern facing slopes, I guess. Heavy timber and without giving too much away, we walked up on a bedded bull. Which is like a 1 in a billion shot, a big bedded bull. And just like the circumstances in which we saw him, we walked by multiple, because you're on one, they have these game trails that you follow, like where they walk through, and there were areas that you're like, wow, there's fresh shit everywhere. Like it smells like urine. There's scrapes where they're getting the velvet off there. Like he was here, they were here recently. It smells like a barnyard. And so you'd go to those spots and try to find those spots every day and maybe walk up on them. But just knowing when we saw those there was multiple that were either higher at different points throughout the week or lower or tucked up better under stuff. Like it's insane. It's so frustrating. But it's a good thing too. Like it's, we had 0 cell phone service. We bought these Garmins that you could kind of like almost essentially a satellite phone that you could text off of. So we could text each other back and forth and it would mark your location. And then I could just, cause Hillary was a nervous wreck, just send like a safety check-in.
Yeah.
But it was
for people who don't know, who aren't educated. Hunting like that's legit.
Hunting it's like, and
hard.
I think that's what we, that's Bryant. So Bryant has never hunted. The camera guy went and got his, because he's loyal, went and got his hunter safety to like learn and do all these things and be out there with us, right? He, he's like, all right, after the first day, like when we kill one, we can go with the next group and they can kill one. And he was just at the end of it, he was so like, and at first he was like, man, I don't know how I'm going to feel when we kill something. Like, am I going to be remorseful or whatever? And then by day 3, he's like, let's kill them all. Because you just get to that point. Like, and anybody who's like, you're killing a defenseless animal, blah, blah, blah. You've never been elk hunting. These things were in their home. They have so many different, defense mechanisms. Like, we used a bow, which, the range on, like, it's nearly impossible. After the fact, we ended up looking up what the probability of killing something. It's 1 in 10. 1 in 10 hunters kill something.
So not a lot.
And this is public land. This isn't a private ranch. Like we're not going out some high fence something. Like we're hunting, and we hunted hard.
You have to feel pretty primal though too, like actually sleeping in the woods and like as rugged as you were, like I imagine that brings some certain instincts and things out after days of
frustration. Yeah, it was
freezing to death.
Yeah, anyone like snap on each other, like for real or no? Everyone just calm.
Oh man, so the last day, this is good. Stephen, the priest. Did I tell you this one?
The Padre.
Yeah.
GoPro story.
No, better.
Okay.
So usually about midday. 12:30, 12 o'clock, depending on the night before, what time. He fasts too. And so we usually sit down, kind of eat, have a meal, hang out, and then go again usually. Because it's middle of the days, they're not doing anything usually anyway. And so that last day, we're going hard. And we're following this trail. We're 10 minutes behind this thing. You can just tell. It just feels like we're there. We get to the spot, and usually the tracks are just a single lane, and sometimes there'd be a double, like 2 bulls running together. And so this one spot, you could tell they like stopped and were eating off the trees. They pulled this moss stuff off the trees, and there's more spot, like more tracks, and they're kind of doing their thing. Well, then it just takes off again, and Steven's like, I got to get something to eat, Father. I'm like, all right, go ahead. And so I'm just standing there still, like not sitting down, not getting my food, standing there, just kind of staring at him like... This was the time we were going to make up time. Yeah. But he's basically having a carb crash because I'm telling you, we went up, down, around, over, through, hard all morning. And so he's like, I gotta eat. I'm like, all right, go ahead. So I'm looking at him. He's kind of like, you know, getting his stuff out, no hurry. And then he looks up. He's like, you can tell he kind of sped up a little bit more. Then looks up again, and like really fast, and just starts shoving stuff in his bike. He's like, all right, let's go. I'm like, all right, cool, take off. So we get up to the top, and he walks up to me. It's probably 10, 15 minutes have passed. He's been eating already, ate his stuff. He's like, I have to apologize. I was like, what do you apologize for? He's like, well, back there, I cussed you up and down.
I love him.
I was like,
funny.
Nice. He was like, I don't know how many priests have ever confessed. It was so good. He was like, yeah, I have to confess. I cussed you up and down back there. Nice.
You just hear him, bless me, Father, for...
Yeah. So it was funny.
You rushing me while I'm trying to eat my food.
Well, if you've ever walked in the woods with Rich, the one time they let me follow, what, was it you and Hewitt?
It was like 4 years
They
ago.
were...
elk or turkey hunting.
turkey hunting. And I was like, please let me go, please. So they don't give me a gun or anything, but they let me put camo on and like run through the woods. Rich, I don't know how you move so fast over a tree. Like, it was like a blink, and he was like, I didn't even see him. Hewitt's like kind of looking back to make sure I'm alive, and Rich is just, you move
Survival of
so
the
fast.
fittest.
It's not even like, you're not even like, look like you're jumping, but I don't feel like I move slowly in the woods, and I was like, poor Padre. I don't know how he kept up for 8 miles.
I mean, he's a fit,
Yeah.
pretty athletic dude, and he weighs 160 pounds. I think
you
he
move
ended up
fast.
losing like 10 or 12
Oh my
pounds.
goodness.
Plus, he's an experienced hunter too.
Yeah.
He's good. Bryant was good too. The guy that came with us. The first day he about got buried. He didn't really understand what we were doing. He was gonna be out all day, every day.
So was he athletic? Like
He's a CrossFitter.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he goes to Tittle's gym. David.
Oh, okay,
Tittle's.
Nice.
And so he did not bring enough water or enough food after we were kind of like, hey man, get some food.
Yeah.
So he had a little. He was just trying to play catch up. He said the rest of the week, but he did good. He never had to like worry or wait on him.
Yeah.
End of the day, usually every day, you could kind of tell his feet were getting tired because he just snap, pop, pop, like you're just like. And Steven at one point nicely was like, "Hey, nobody's ever told me this, but you know, like there's a stick. Don't step on the middle of it. Like turn your foot to the side. If you can go over it, go over it. If you can go through it, go through it. Like real nicely." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, Bryant." That's Steven's nice way of saying, shut the hell up. Watch where you're stepping. Yeah, no. And so it was funny. And then there was one point, actually, where we're coming down this hill, and we had just had an encounter with some elk, so we were trying to track them. And he's coming down the hill and trips and starts, like, rolling towards the edge of a bluff.
Oh my goodness.
That's terrifying.
And I just happened to turn around, dive, and put all my weight on his heel. Steven grabs his shirt as the same thing. And he's like, I think I was all right. And me and Steven were both like, nah, dude, you were not all right.
That is petrifying.
It was like,
like-
he like got caught up
Yeah.
and then like kept going. And then all his momentum was like
no.
going forward. And yeah,
So what you're saying is Ben would have died.
Ben would have died for sure. I actually would have let Ben die, I think. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you get a little push.
So every time something happened, that's what you thought about?
Is a little push.
I'm glad you thought about me on your trip. Did you think in that moment, you're like, God, Ben would have died right there?
Yep, for sure.
No, you didn't.
There was multiple times
I
was
wouldn't
like,
have tripped.
there was multiple times where I was like, wow, Ben is not cut out for this.
How would you're going off nothing, though.
I've known you.
Dude,
Since you were born, right?
Pretty much.
no.
Most of his life. There's no way. There's no way.
I'm tough, dude.
No, you're not.
I'm really tough.
Look what you're wearing. You're not tough.
What do you mean?
O'Doyle rules. So does the RP Diet app. The RP Diet app has customizable plans whether you're trying to compete in fitness, gain muscle, or just lose some fat to look better for beach season. Search RP Diet app in the App Store. Use referral code Froning to save 33% on your subscription. Don't forget to find them on Instagram at RP Strength. Jim, not saying this. Unfortunately, Inside Tracker told me not to eat snack packs anymore, but I feel so much better when I don't eat them. Inside Tracker analyzes your blood, DNA, and lifestyle choices to give you an ultra-personalized nutrition plan so that you can meet your goals. Last time they analyzed my blood, all they said, nope, not doing that. Man, we got to get some new ones, Ben. Who's in charge of these?
Andre.
Go to InsideTracker.com and use code MAYHEM at checkout for 20% off any plan plus free inner age if you go with the ultimate package. The face that
I know, me
Tasia
too. I was
was
thinking about-
making, getting her blood drawn, we showed up. Ben, you got it, right?
Yeah, actually, I'm working on a video like today.
So good.
Okay.
No, she didn't.
I did not cry.
We're just happened to walk up, and I tried to open that door on the far side. You know, instead of the double doors, I tried to get in that. It was locked, but I just happened to look in, and Tasia's in there, and all I see is this. Eyes closed.
Looking to God.
Well, I'm surprised I didn't cry because I showed up. I did a bike erg in the morning, and I must have sweat out all the
blood,
all the blood in my veins because I literally have my arms like this. And normally, I'm not super vascular, anyways. But sometimes, you know, I have one like right here, and you couldn't see a vein on me. And she's like, "Hey, you don't like this, right?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Well, it's not looking good." So she's like, "Why don't you like chug this water bottle and just wait? Like she'll draw blood from Rich and everyone else, and then I'll go at the end." And then she was like, "Hey, I normally wouldn't say this to anyone, but you could do some like push-ups and bicep curls, and that might help." So I'm just in there just with a dumbbell, just bicep curls, bicep curls. And she was able to get a vein on me, but she had to use like the little needle, the butterfly one. No tears though. So, and all my blood, it kept coming out. It didn't stop like last time.
Jeez,
so I think 30 has changed me. I'm like a new person.
All about the blood draws.
So Tasia could have made the elk hunt.
Basically. Over Ben for sure.
Better than Ben for sure.
Oh gosh.
So if anything, I don't ever anything to go wrong with you.
Thank you.
But just had this experience, and I have had this experience of showing up on a call where someone needs an IV started.
Yeah.
So I'm concerned about it now.
Yeah, because then you'll have to get the bone drill.
Ooh.
Wait, what?
Ooh.
Wait, why would I need a bone drill?
It's hard to hit a vein.
Yeah.
So there's they take this like screw and it has a port on it, and you drill into the bone to get an IV started.
Just like 1 inch or so from where you know.
You will dig with the needle
that
and
sounds
find
so
it.
bad. I'll take the needle.
It's just like really kind of like taking
If you do that.
Bone drill.
as far as life and death, you know.
Doesn't Bob have a bone drill? I feel like I learned what it was from you saying that
Bob might have had a bone drill when he died.
That's the only reason I know where it was.
He's still alive though,
Yeah,
but he did die.
He lived.
What were you talking about?
Bone drill. I can't remember when Bob had his heart attack at the gym. Yeah.
You guys did a bone drill?
He must have because I
can't
swear
remember.
I know what it's from.
Yeah.
Somebody did.
Yeah. Tim and Dawn.
Oh, yeah, right on.
Did you know they're coming out with a gingerbread flavor Mountain Dew for the holidays?
I'm
Not
in.
that anyone should drink
Sounds
Mountain Dew
disgusting.
anyway, but I'm just saying, like, of all
Code Red
flavors,
Mountain Dew is amazing.
I mean, if it's Mountain Dew, they're probably not going to mess it up.
Have you had Code Red Mountain Dew?
Yes, it's good.
I
It's the most amazing
I'm
thing
gonna bring
ever.
a 2-liter from my house that Zeb. I was waiting to,
It's
torture
so
him with it when he
good.
comes
I
back.
had it before.
Won't he
Red
be
Code
on
Red?
No, not doing it.
Oh,
Bro,
Don't no one
this
show
is
'em.
not Mountain Dew. Try Code Red Mountain Dew.
I don't know about that.
You will be happy.
Or gingerbread now.
Or go ahead
I
and do
hate
the.
pumpkin spice. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it out there.
Yeah,
hate
well,
it.
we don't like you either.
I don't really like pumpkin anything.
I like pumpkin everything.
What was it you just said? Starbucks had.
Pumpkin nitro, I gotta get it.
oh yeah, that was good.
Is
I had
it
that.
good?
Yes, so good.
Ugh.
You're talking about the
I don't know
pumpkin
if I've
cream?
ever actually had pumpkin spice anything, but I don't like. I'm
Dude.
not
Well,
like
then how
pumpkin
can you-
pie is just blah.
How can
me.
you say that? You
I
haven't
like
even tried
pumpkin
it.
I don't know. I just
gotta
don't like
try
the
it.
idea.
I've once
of-
eaten
I don't
a
like the
pumpkin
idea. Of it.
Chris is getting in the coffee shop. Just
I don't know if I go to Starbucks for anything, but
No.
pumpkin nitro.
Pumpkin nitro might be worth it.
Might have to be a
You know they make
Wahoo?
pumpkin Oreos.
Or-
Pumpkin Oreos. That sounds weird.
Yeah.
I have two things. One, you said you was never ever.
You was never. I was.
You was
Never.
never. You was never ever gonna get a horse, and you got two.
I don't know
Oh
if
yeah,
I-
can we talk about the horses?
Happy wife, happy life. Poncho,
But I know why
Poncho
you
and
did
Scarlet.
it. I know why you did it.
Poncho and Scarlet.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, tell us about the horses. Can you ride them? Do you have who's? I'm just
I've
curious.
seen video of it riding. Poncho.
Yeah, I rode Poncho.
Hillary was riding bareback.
I rode.
crazy.
Yeah, Scarlet can ride bareback. You just kind of. Honestly, all I did, I was like, well, let's give it a shot. Threw on. She has just a halter on, and we have a lead rope that has 2 clips, and so I was like, screw it. Let's see. Hopped on her, walked her right out of the field, right around, back up to the house.
It's really good. That's pretty cool. Really cute.
Yeah.
But my neighbor has horses, and she goes there every single day. I went with her twice now to her barn, and we watch them do walks, and then she cleans the feet, and then she washes and brushes, and she does the fly spray. The process day to day. I don't know if The horses that live in the field have to like if it's
I'm
all
sure
the same
they
thing.
should, but I don't know
like
if I'm gonna
she
do
has to
that.
clean her feet, every single.
They're not
like,
my horses.
So someone, because it's like a lot of labor per day to maintain the horse. But I don't know.
Are you gonna eventually have like a stall?
Yeah, we're gonna build a little like lean-to and stall. Yeah, on the
In
if
the
you're
winter,
coming down the
they-
driveway, you're gonna go on the left. It'll be on the
Okay.
left. That field there that's not fenced right now. That's
Well,
the
I'm
game
glad they
plan.
have friends because
Yeah.
when Scarlett first came, she just kind of seemed confused. Well, she was in a new area.
Yeah.
She'd just be staring like.
Poncho was like right next to her today, just like looking at her like, hey,
That was funny.
I'm here for you now.
Yeah.
He's a gelding, which means he has no testicles. She is a mare, but he wasn't like trying to get on her, but he was just kind of like, hey, what's up? Like leaning, and she did not like that.
Yeah.
Did not like that.
What's going on?
She's like, leave me alone. And then, but here's the deal is like, she's never too far from him. Like even if he starts walking away, she's like, oh, I'm gonna follow him. So they like
She's
each
playing
other.
hard to get.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. We're on the same team here.
Yeah.
Are they in the same field or no?
Yeah, they're in the same pasture right now.
That's okay.
The horse is not the bison. They're in
The horse and bison are not together.
No.
Oh.
The horses are in one and the bison are in one.
Can you not do that?
I don't think so.
Are they drinking from the
We're
same
not
source?
going to.
Yeah.
Do what?
They drink from the same source?
Yeah.
And they eat grass or what?
Yeah.
Oh.
You
It
can give them
seems
sweet.
like-
I know like nothing about
I
animals,
really don't know
guess.
much about horses at all, so
Don't you have to
Bison
brush
seem
them
more
every day?
afraid
Good
of
luck.
of
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to brush them every day?
I'm not. You probably should. I'm probably going to get ripped apart on this because I don't know anything about horses.
Horses are very different than the bison.
Yeah.
Like,
People
they
can
take care of them. They can't just eat
drop some knowledge.
everything
Yeah,
all
for
the
sure.
time.
That's what I'm saying.
They're
My
founded
neighbor
in
does
self-care.
crazy stuff every day with the horse for its
The
care.
guy said he didn't think Poncho would founder. He's not used to having that much grass, but he said Poncho will get very fat. He's jacked right now.
Yes.
He's a
Wait,
big
why
horse.
won't you get fat?
Because he's just genetically he's a bigger horse.
They don't have the same kind of stomachs that
No.
cows have. We're
Yeah.
going to process all that.
Yeah.
Do they not need shelter or anything?
Yes. Eventually, we're working on a plan to build them.
You just said that, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Welcome, Ben.
Caught the end of it. I
Welcome,
know what he's
Ben.
talking about.
Horses when I was growing up, and everybody loved them, but I wasn't into it.
Yeah.
So the whole take your turn to go out
Yeah.
and work to do something I didn't.
Did you take care of him?
I was forced to, yes.
So what does it entail then? If you have experience.
I mean, it's what they're talking about. There's a ton of work.
Yeah.
Take care of them, yeah.
I mean, we were there for like 2 hours, like from the brush. And I said, well, what happens on days that you can't come? And she goes, well, they do it because she has them at
It
But I didn't know if
depends
it was different,
on-
you
it depends
know?
what kind of horse you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, these aren't going to be like racing horses or these are
Yeah.
like our kids' pets. So like we're not going to have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you should, I
Yeah.
guess, but I'm not.
A really good horse that's been trained, a good cutting horse or something like that, if you don't pay attention to it, it's like a really good dog.
Poncho. Poncho is he's got some bells and whistles that we don't necessarily need. But he looks cool. He's a roping horse. Like you can lean into him and he'll turn whichever
That's really
way,
cool.
and you can like.
They're both beautiful.
He'll do like sideways steps and all that
Wow.
kind of stuff, like show stuff,
is
and I'm
cool.
like, yeah, I don't need to do that.
Yeah, but can you do that on him?
Not yet.
Oh.
I can get him to go and turn.
That's cool though.
I can get him to walk backwards.
When you're not a great rider, you haven't learned a horse like that, because you'll end up on the ground, because he's
like,
he can do all kinds of things really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, so you'll want him to stop, and he'll stop.
He'll stop. Oh, he does. Yeah. No, I can ride enough that I know certain things, but I'm not a.
You should do some sort of like Yellowstone
Yeah.
thing.
Just wait.
For,
Me and Matt are gonna be out there roping them buffaloes.
Yeah, like, you guys
At
have
some
to
point,
do a
we're gonna
video.
think we're better than we are, and we're
Yeah.
gonna try to rope the buffalo.
I would like to see that.
But do you guys have cowboy hats yet? Because I feel like that's
Matt
probably
has a
part
cowboy
of
hat. I
the.
don't have a cowboy hat
You're
yet.
probably gonna need that to do that.
Yeah.
To really.
I
Fit
feel like
in.
now I can actually get a cowboy hat. Before I felt like I was a complete poser.
That's awesome.
But now I'm like, I can get a cowboy hat
That's
now because I can ride a horse.
You know, like in a rodeo, the animal that they rope is like a steer.
Oh, yeah,
It's
for sure.
smaller.
Oh, for
it's
sure.
not
Wilson.
Okay. Big China buffalo.
We're gonna go for Wilson.
Okay, all right, very good.
No, like,
Wilson.
it's gonna.
No, legit. Wilson.
No, it's gonna happen.
He's
Custer,
trying to change
maybe.
color.
Yeah, he's starting to get brown, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aw.
No, Custer. We're gonna start with Wilson,
Jeez.
then we'll work up to Lucy, and then from Lucy we'll go to 34,
He's
BB,
34.
and then from there Custer. He's
Oh
the end
my
goal.
gosh.
At least you have a plan.
Yeah.
No, this is gonna be bad.
You could do a video series.
This is gonna be great. This
Learning
is
how to rope?
exciting.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. That would be so badass.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun for your kids still.
Yeah, kids love it. Yeah, they like it. Yeah, Lakeland, we walked her around the yard the other day, so she got her helmet on. She was bareback, but that one horse is crazy. It's crazy chill. Yeah.
She did a good job with all those kids around.
Yep. So.
That's gonna be so fun.
Ha 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 ha! Shut up. We've got the greatest popcorn of all time. Back to school to prove to Dad that I'm not a fool. I've got my popcorn packed up, my Nano Froning X tied tight. I hope I don't get in a fight. Oh, back to school, back to school, back to school. It is available in both original and protein-packed flavors. As a snack the whole family can enjoy without any added chemicals or other garbage. Go follow them on Instagram at KettleBros and use the discount code Froning for 10% off your entire order at kettlebros.com.
Nice.
This stuff's so legit. So you know the Tour de France is going on right now, which is super cool.
Real?
Yeah.
Going on?
So they're not allowed to have they travel in a bubble basically. Like the riders can't see anybody. They don't like encourage people to go out there.
How long does that last? Jesus.
It's like 2 weeks and like 2,400.
It's a lot of riding.
I think. Yeah. But so that's what I read this article the other day that was so interesting. Because the title of the thing was like, you think everyone's trying to get their 10,000 steps a day because we're all like crazy about our stupid rings on our watch. They discourage the team riders from walking. Like they'll want to like walk in the morning. They say, no, you're not supposed to walk in the morning because they're so highly conditioned cycling wise. They actually think they're going to have diminished bone density because they spend so much time in the motion of cycling. And the one cyclist in the article gets on and goes, if I went for a 4-mile walk, I would be sore the next day. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way you were conditioned that much. But if you go for a walk, you're gonna be sore. You think that's true?
It makes sense because like they're not on their body weight. Like they're, they're suspended.
That's how you increase bone density is doing stuff with body weight.
Like resistance training and stuff. So I actually feel like it does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cyclists have like at that level, they have such a different body type too.
Yeah, we talked about this, I think, on one of the podcasts.
Yeah.
About how
huge legs,
small
but tiny upper
huge
bodies.
Quads.
Honestly, since we got back from Colorado and not working out for that week, I've been sore every single day. Like, also, if you go on Whoop, my recovery has been garbage. 0 sleep. I'm at 40% today. Yesterday I was at 31, 23, 47.
Oh, wow.
16.
Oh, geez.
I had a 69 there. 55, 72. 50, 49, 36.
You're struggling.
60.
What's your usual?
27, 22.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some bad days. 0 sleep, a lot of altitude. That did it.
That was while you were out there.
Some while I was out there, and then it's been back too.
That's that's kind of crazy. Because what's your average when you're here? Recovery so far?
My profile says my average recovery. It's dropped recently as of late. I don't even know how to find that.
Jim, you've had yours off for a while now.
Yeah, when I went to Arizona, I took it off because last time when I was finishing the tattoo, the data was so scary.
I figured that was why you did.
I was like, I'm not wearing it.
I don't want to know. I was 1% away from death today.
I don't want to know. I just want to survive.
Yeah, I don't know what my average is usually, but
is it above 50 though? Like I feel like
usually.
What's the difference between your Whoop and your watch when it comes to calories?
We go by activity calories. Well, so the problem is I don't know if Whoop's just giving me my overall daily calories or my actual fitness calories. That's the problem. So right now Whoop is saying my fitness calories are 1674. I don't know if that's overall. On my watch, it's saying 1,200 fitness calories, but 2,300 life
so there's definitely
calories.
a big difference.
Yeah, that is a big difference.
Yeah, so I'm
unless
not sure.
it's your fitness calories. Huh? Interesting.
Speaking of fitness calories, what's up, son?
Trust me.
You need a haircut, boy. Hey, Spanky. We got chicken. Okay. All right, you can get a bar. Yeah, for sure. That kid loves some bars.
He's talking about the jerky, the beef.
Yeah, I saw there's a new flavor. It's like jalapeno cranberry.
Cranberry
Ooh,
on the
is it
stick.
good?
Those sticks are incredible.
Good.
Actually, all of it's
Very
great.
good.
I ate the crap out of it when we were out in Montana.
So are they for sale yet?
Colorado. was just so easy. But man, you start eating those sticks, and Jaden went to get you some. Hold on, and then you eat so many of them, you're just like, they're so good.
They are good.
They're easy too.
Yeah. I saw that the jalapeno cranberry. I'm like, I gotta try that one.
Yeah, I want to try it. I honestly haven't tried it.
It sounds good though. It's a good combo.
Hold on. Brady will get you one.
Hey, Brady.
I don't think we can break them out of these packs because they send them in those packs. Did their lunch show up? Okay. Your lunch is in there. Go get your lunch.
He's like, I love bison. Okay. I need more bison.
Right. Man.
Speaking of that, sticks. We got new sticks and bars, like Tasia said. Biltong's there. Fall collection as well. Into the Storm hats coming soon. FroningFarms.com. I don't know what we got left.
Of ads?
That's all the ads.
Oh yeah, no.
What about talk-wise?
We're about at an hour,
55
but
minutes?
55? What do we got?
I do have one more question for Silver because I read another thing this morning.
Okay, have Brady go get you one.
You have a question for me?
Yes. Do you think so? It was a big discussion about like mindset coaches and life coaches.
Oh yeah.
And there was this big discussion. It was like in like Psychology Today or something. Like, should there be certification because they're saying the field's becoming watered down and they don't want to see people taken advantage of by people that don't have the proper whatever. What are your thoughts around all of that?
That's an interesting question. I hate the fact that it's called mindset, or what we do is called mindset, other than it's sort of accurate and it rhymes with mayhem. Yeah. And I'm really clear when I talk to people about what we do that it doesn't replace counseling, and I'm not a psychologist, because that's actually not what we're even trying to get accomplished. Right. We're trying to help somebody organize their core values and define themselves. And we're using a game that I created, and I'm an expert at that game. Yeah. And that's all I come to be. So, but you know what? That stuff doesn't offend me, and I don't care. I mean, who cares? Yeah. Like, I don't want anybody innocent getting hurt. Right. So I'm conscious about that. But you know what? So what? If somebody's out there working with something and it's helping people and it works great, but there are so many people that it's all BS for sure. And I think maybe in the beginning I was sort of offended by somebody saying they were a mindset coach or doing something like that. But the truth is, the stuff that really works, people will do. Yeah, that's true. And if it's authentic and it's genuine, people will get something out of it, and the stuff that doesn't will go away. And I think it's sort of kind of a fad right now. So I think in the beginning maybe I used to get worried about some of that stuff, and I really anymore it's kind of one of those things that's almost funny. Yeah. Whatever. Like you do you, and if it works, great, and if it doesn't.
Well, I think you do such a good job, like in the beginning too, of. I think a lot of people, once they even start talking about those things to you, go straight into story and getting wrapped in story, and like you're like my psychologist. I'm going to tell you everything. You're like, whoa, 20-second timeout. That's story, and I think then it's like almost like a gateway to one of your first an important lesson. You know.
I'm going to be clear. Like I think it's wrong if somebody represents themselves as something that they're not. You know. So I think a good psychologist is a really good thing, and good counselors are really good things, and they're appropriate, and those people need to be certified.
It's different than.
But that's very different than what we're doing. You know, I don't know, like David Goggins in the beginning. If I can just use him as an example, I was in Texas. I actually talked right before he did, so I had a chance to be in the same space that he was. And in the beginning, he got up and said some things, and this is several years ago, and I didn't think that he had much to say. It wasn't just kind of sort of motivational and cliche. And now a lot of the things he's doing has really grown, and as he's honed that to a place where you can get some good stuff out of what that guy's talking about. And he has a message, and he really has some things that I think people could use. What I care about is that people can use what you're talking about, and it helps them get better.
Like these people develop tools. So like you're saying, Goggins went from like a message to now understanding what his tools were that maybe might.
Yeah, and you listen, and he says, and this is how you could use this. So I think it's kind of fun. Yeah. I think it's kind of fun. I think it's hilarious. I like to listen to people and their ideas and whatever, and let's see if it works. Yeah. You know.
Well, there are a lot of rah-rahs out there though. Like there's a lot of things you can read. Like you can go through a whole like those quote unquote like self-help books that are supposed to be so great, and I'm like, there is not one application in this entire thing. And you're like, yay. That drives me insane. Like, don't say this is great, it was whatever, without giving someone any kind of tool. Because then what's the, there's a lot.
Once again, with the caveat about psychologists and counselors and licensing, which I think is important, I don't like the idea of limiting people. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I like it that there's Yahoos talking about that over there, smart people talking about that over there.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that idea.
Yahoo's and pointed at Ben.
There's people who can go on a hunt and survive.
What's our Ben wisdom today?
You got
What is it?
What's your Ben wisdom today?
you got hunters and gatherers.
Take advantage of
and
opportunities.
you got hipsters.
Wait, what'd you say? Say it again.
Take advantage of opportunities. Because it saves a lot of flack in the long run. That's what I learned today.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Hey, that was pretty good,
Nice
wasn't
and
it?
to the point.
That was good. That'd be
Also
that'd be a good
accurate.
tweet.
It's also accurate.
Yeah.
It would be a solid tweet.
Or twit from you, whatever.
Right. Is that appropriate?
Is it?
I think if I would have used
that's
an
good.
A,
Yeah.
it would have been inappropriate.
Yeah, right. Just making sure. Just making sure.
Yep. Work safe. All right.
It's about that time.
Got any conspiracies, Ben? How's Brittany?
Oh yeah.
She's dead.
Actually,
since she's dead, right?
No.
Actually, there is a new conspiracy that the Britney they're
No.
showing as a clone. Yeah.
No.
I heard she was dead. I heard Britney Spears hung herself from the rafters of a
No.
in Vail, Colorado.
No.
Ski resort.
What?
Starting new fake news. Nice. Like,
Don't start that, Jim.
I was gonna say
You're
no.
gonna
That's
tear me up.
disturbing.
Yeah, no.
She's
cool.
okay.
Yeah, Britney. I don't know where.
They couldn't clone a sheep, so.
You got any? I thought they did clone a sheep.
Yeah, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like super successful. Like,
No?
didn't it like live but not like a full life?
Oh jeez.
I don't know.
I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I was young.
Wow, but that's interesting.
They're definitely cloning stuff in China right now. For sure. They've got Universal soldiers running around, jumping out of planes.
Oh man.
I think they made it into a movie too, right?
I'm pretty sure.
I
Captain America.
I remember I was scared.